Good morning. So St. Lucy, I had a great aunt when I was growing up named Lucy, so I always looked for St. Lucy. Plus, it also meant that Christmas was right around the corner. And I always remember seeing the icon of St. Lucy that looked like it was a big Advent wreath on her head, and I could never figure it out, although I could have done without the eyeballs on the plate. But what I've always thought about St. Lucy is that light that we can bring in to search our hearts, like those dark, cavernous parts of our hearts, where the Lord's words are written inside of our hearts, but we can't see because of all the muck and the murk in it, the conversion that Monsignor was just talking about. How we can use her light to go deeper into our hearts, and we know that it will be safe. A lot of times we're scared of the dark and stuff we don't see. But once we bring light to it, it kind of opens up more, that we can understand it more. And the prophet Zephaniah says it perfectly. For then I will change and purify the lips of the people. That we know that God, during this conversion, will change and purify us. Another thing that comes from Zephaniah that I would kind of be amiss not to talk about is it's used in Nostra, my Latin's horrible, but Nostra Aetate in our times, which came from Vatican II. And it was the relations with the church with non-Christian religions. And the church is basically saying that there is truth in other religions, and we cannot just deny that across the board. That we have to be in good relations with these non-Christian religions, that we're all coming to God. And what they use is the part of this reading from Zephaniah saying how the people from the rivers of Ethiopia and all the far north recesses will be coming in and giving homage to the Lord. And I think that's really something important that we can look at, how that enlightenment also, that we don't feel all high and mighty sometimes. And Jesus is also talking about that when he's saying the humbled of the heart, the ones that are truly repentant, the tax collectors and the prostitutes are the ones who are led into the kingdom of heaven. That, just because we say we're going to do these actions and not do them does not mean that we cannot, everything's going to be okay. It's more, as I think it's St. James talks about in the letters, it's more about the actions and the faith. We have to have both working together. And to be Christian means to forgive the inexcusable because God has forgiven the inexcusable in us. And with that, we can change our hearts around. And I love this quote from Helen Keller. The best and the most beautiful things in this world cannot be seen or even heard, but must be felt with the heart. So let us ask St. Lucy to pray for us today, that we can have our hearts lit up and see everything that's inside of them.